shows where this world is going in the sense that social media influencing has become an official career.
It's the thing.
It's the biggest thing now.
Afrobeats put African culture
on the map. It
in
made
fact,
it cool.
in
It
their
made being
face.
African cool. Lady Lisa is that she just didn't read the room, right? Because even if people don't like to hear it, right? People are entitled to their preferences. We all have our preferences.
Yeah. Because Cuppy is a billionaire's daughter, there are some haters that will never change.
Yeah.
Your activity and audience. Audience isn't enough anymore. What have you done that's different? What have you done that hasn't been done before?
In Congo, like the guy that works in the mine to mine coltan that gives us what we use for
the mobile phones.
Right? He travels an hour and a half on a moped to make $6 a day.
Damn it.
You're listening to Adeshokbe Live, the Afrobeats Podcast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to another edition of Adeshokbe Live, the official Afrobeats Podcast, where I break down some of the hottest topics in the culture alongside my celebrity guests in the building. Now, before I introduce my star-studded guests, obviously, I'd like to say thank you very much for the support. Keep liking, sharing, commenting. We appreciate every single move. And a big shout-out as well to Yanga TV, where you can catch us every Saturday at 7:30 p.m. and Monday at 7 p.m. on Sky 186, and I believe is Freeview 171. And shout outs, like I said, we've got some ratings in and we're really, really doing very well. So shout outs to all the people watching there. We appreciate that. Now, some of the headlines that we'll be looking at this week, breaking news that superstar rapper and iconic rapper DMX has sadly passed away. Tandiwe Newton reclaiming her birth name back. Lisa Ray getting slammed for supporting colorist comments, although she's an African-American woman. And Jedward, how many times did you hear that on an Afrobeats podcast? Pop duo Jedward making the headlines this week. But before we go into that, I'd always like to start off by talking about our partnership, our incredible partnership with Shoobs.com. And Shoobs is the leading discovery hub for Black cultures, experiences, bringing you the latest events, music, and news. With Shoobs, you can discover and buy tickets to the best events happening in your city to satisfy your every need. If you're on a hunt for bottomless brunches, the latest Afrobeats concerts, or just a banging night out, Shoobs has got you covered, especially now that the doors are opening in about a week's time. So Shoobs has got us covered. And Shoobs is at the center of all experiences, whether you're an event organizer looking to sell out your event or looking for the perfect event to attend. Visit Shoobs.com and get Shoobs in now. Now, to introduce my celebrity guests in the building, the extreme right is a protection specialist. Now, an actor. He's got acting credentials. He's I don't even know what to call him now. You've got everything: protection specialist. You're an actor. You're now a YouTuber, a social media influencer, a social media personality. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the superstar Henchi in the building. And I also know a secret too.
Thank you very much.
He's a singer.
No, don't do that. Let's do that. We're gonna scratch that one out. And
in the middle is my sister, a broadcaster, a host, a presenter, a positive kind of like, is a positive image. How am I going to put it now? This person that just exudes everything, tries to make people happy. She's talking about everything from social media to being on TV, being a producer, broadcaster, host, and it's just a lovely model as well. BC Aiken. So, talk about having beauty and the guests.
And the beast. I don't mind the beast. I like the beast. That's right.
So, thank you very much, guys, for joining me in the studio.
No, sorry.
Really
Before we go
appreciate
on,
it.
have you been working out?
Well, I've been trying.
No, big man. Right now, I'm not sure if I'm a little bit jealous.
Listen,
your arm is taking up half
I
the
see
space.
I see you pull the vehicles. I see you drag all sorts of. So I'm like, bro.
All the fans just comment, go in his DMs and just be like, Shopsy, you're looking
What
good.
workouts? No, but
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have been
let
working
me
out. We've been
know.
seeing it.
Yeah, we have to.
You've been working out. We have
No,
been
you're
seeing
looking
it.
good, bro.
Appreciate it, my brother. Appreciate it. So, well, we're going to start in the UK, where news broke this week that accomplished actor and Hollywood superstar Tandiwe Newton announced that she will be changing her popular first name back to the original. The actress, popularly known as Tandiwe Newton, is of Zimbabwean. I think her mother is Zimbabwean and her father is English, with the first name originally Tandiwe. However, she claimed during the credits of her first movie role, a mix-up meant being written as Tandy, and she stuck to the name for over 30 years. She said in an interview that the name Tandiwe is my name, and I'm taking it back. She went further in that interview with Vogue, saying she is happier that the ethnic minorities have received more representation in the entertainment industry. And I quote this: "The thing I'm most grateful for in our business right now is being in the company of others who truly see me, and to not be complicit in objectification of black people as others, which is what happens when you're the only one." Tandy is becoming Tandiwe. Let's talk about that. Basically,
He's returning.
he's returning
back home.
Returning back home. That was my first thought. When I saw it, I said, regardless of how long it's taking you to feel comfortable being African, I'm happy that you're coming back home. What are your thoughts?
I think it's absolutely amazing that she's been able to take back her name and have ownership over it. And I feel like a lot of young people, a lot of people in general, when it comes to our African names, especially when I was younger, I was just like, if your name was like Tunde or Baba Tunde or Yugo, or it was this type, because people just wouldn't be able to understand it. Even till this day, like I've got a cousin, his name is Sean. At work, they still call him Sean. And I'm like, when it was me and I was really trying to understand my own Africanness, my own Nigerianness, and honestly loving it. When people would say my name is BC, I'm like, no, my name is Bissy. It's not B and C, it's BISI. And it gets to a point where I actually explain what my name is about and what it means. And I feel like when you are able to have power in your name, because there's so much weight that comes with your names. Our African names have so much meaning.
I think her name as well is something like maybe beauty or something like that. So.
It has so much meaning, so you don't need to adjust it to appease other people, because if it's Sarah or Sarah, you have to call Sarah and Sarah. So it doesn't. They're not going to change it because you're making a mistake. They will correct you. So same way, no matter if you've got 500 syllables, baby girl, please let people know your name. Absolutely. And I think it's absolutely amazing that she's doing it now. It's never too late.
Exactly. The African Renaissance, the last couple of years, has been fantastic. I'm basically saying, Afrobeats and African popular culture is responsible for this newfound pride.
Facts.
And someone of this stature to have held on to something that's not her name for 30 years.
That's a long
time. Talk to me about that.
There's two sides of this for me. Well done.
It's time to jump on the bandwagon, right?
No, not even that. Well done, Tandiwe. Welcome back. That's your own personal problem. Do you know what? It's unfair that she had to stick to that mistake because she thought that's how she would excel.
Yes.
Being the only one. My surname's actually very English, Johnson. But I swear to God. But my first name, Oluleye.
Absolutely.
How do I say that at school? Hi guys, I'm Olu.
Yeah.
First day. Well, Ollie, I'll call you Ollie. Do you know how many times I've let them call me Ollie? Now, because that's what I needed to do that day to get through that thing.
Yeah.
If I'm in a space where today I've chosen smoke, no, my name's Olu. Olu. Can I just call you Dave? No. You can call me Olu. And we don't go further.
You put your foot down.
So she's got to that place where she is now comfortable to fight that fight every day.
Absolutely.
Welcome. Thanks for joining the rest of us after all the millions and the rest of it. I'm proud of you that you finally got there.
Absolutely.
The good side to this is, for those coming up now, I don't have to be what they want me to be.
Absolutely.
I can be... Her, if she'd been called Tandiwe all this time, her acting skills would still be as good.
Same.
Unfortunately, to give her the credit, people like her walked so that Lupita could run. You think you would have let Lupita be called Lupita Nyong'o 30 years ago? So we'll use someone else.
Absolutely.
But slowly, some people were really, really bending so that some people never have to.
Absolutely.
But it's great that she's come back at this time. And yes, we are trending at the moment.
Yep.
So it's good that we are in this space and future generations won't have to.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. You made a mistake on the credits. They'll have to come back and apologize.
Absolutely.
Oh, we called so-and-so. That's wrong. The name's pronounced like this. Great. That's all it took.
Because the funny thing is, I also told people that years ago, I used to introduce myself as Ade. But in the last 10 years, I'm more comfortable saying Ade Shokpe. And people will be like, Ade Shokpe. I'll break it down for you.
Yeah.
I'm happier to do that now. And I think the confidence that we've gotten from the pop culture, from the music, from the movies, from everything has added to a little bit of boost to give people like us that power to really. And if you look at someone like her, who's been at that highest level of Golden Globe nominations and Oscar nominations, and having to just sit down quietly and act like to any other person, oh, she's just a mixed race lady, but nobody's thinking she's got like Barack Obama.
Do you know what's key though that she mentioned? So that's why I'm not taking it all away from her. She said, it's difficult when you're the only one.
Yeah.
There was nobody
Now there's
to
a
look.
community. Now she's finding people that she can
And the world
run
has
to.
changed now. The internet allows, even though I'm in a different part of the world, it allows me to let you know that I'm with you.
Absolutely.
I can say to you, what do you mean they're not letting you be yourself? Back then, we didn't even have
Online
mobiles.
community.
Yeah. Do you understand?
Social
Things have
media.
changed so quickly
And so drastic.
and so drastically.
Imagine what that would do to the Zimbabwean community. Just the fact that she identified.
And the fact that
Fine.
everyone's talking about Zimbabwe.
So everybody will instantly go on and just march behind her now.
Yeah.
Look at this, all this returning everyone's done in the last few years. Back to Ghana, back to Sierra Leone. Were these countries not there before? 5 years ago, they were still in the same geographical location.
Absolutely.
You still had heritage there.
Yeah.
But it wasn't cool.
Yeah.
Thank God for Afrobeats.
Yeah.
I don't care who doesn't like it.
Facts.
Thank God Afrobeats put African culture
On the
on
map.
them.
It
In
made
fact,
it cool.
in
It
their
made being
face.
African cool.
Talk that
Because
talk.
now it's all of, let me
growing
go
up,
back home
African
and see
wasn't
what
cool.
home is like.
Yeah.
Oh, because you like a couple of beats. Oh, welcome.
Yeah, welcome. We'll
Yeah,
take it.
Yeah, come back home.
Yeah.
No,
Because
absolutely,
growing up being
man.
African was far from cool. It was far from cool. Like, I remember there was a whole stage where I wanted to be Jamaican. My name was Shaniqua.
You didn't even have a. It's not. Do you know what?
My
I
name
hate?
was actually
I didn't
Shaniqua.
want to be Jamaican.
That's just
I almost had to be
yeah.
to survive.
because that was what was
and
cool
I've
at the
got
time as
nothing.
well.
In fact, I respect my Jamaican friends
Absolutely.
for it because they were fighting a war.
Because they were also going
They were
to
fighting
hell.
a war, but because they were fighting a war, in their mind, why should you Africans come and just
Get past.
benefit?
Get past. Yeah.
It's
Okay,
our
they
way
had
or the
little
highway.
Yeah,
Do
no,
you
no,
understand?
get
It's
past.
our way or the highway. So we molded into their culture because that's what the system around us was willing to
comfortable
accept.
at that time.
Thank
And
you.
that's even when we think about it, and we're saying Afrobeats is the reason why African culture is now moving forward. Back in the day, that's what Shaggy and Sean Paul and
We're
Beanie
doing
Man were
for-
doing for them.
for
That's why it
Jamaican
was cool
culture.
to
And
be
and because that
Caribbean
came
then.
first,
Facts.
the white people, we like a bit of reggae.
Yeah.
we like a bit of
Bob Marley.
Dirty Paul.
Yeah, we like
Elephant
a bit of
Man.
that. So yeah, you can do that.
true.
Wagwan. Wagwan. Did I say it correctly?
Well, speaking about confidence, maybe this one will be a little different. Over to the USA, where actor Lisa Ray fought back after facing more backlash about her comments supporting a fired broadcaster who made colorist statements on radio in New York. Rob Lederman enraged people after he compared women's skin tones to toaster settings in an episode on the Morning Bull Show. He said, and I quote, "I would never go to Serena Williams level, but I'm very comfortable with Halle Berry level on the toaster." So he said, well, the remarks cost him his job instantly as he was fired from the show despite his apology. Now, during a recent episode of Cocktails with the Queens with co-host Claudia Jordan, Vivica A. Fox, and Selena Johnson on Fox, Lisa Ray jumped to the defense of the white broadcaster, saying something to the tone of, "It was all right to have his preference," while Halle Berry called Rob absolutely disgusting over the comments. Lisa Ray appeared to not see what the problem with the remarks was. She said, and I quote, "He's just saying he doesn't go as far as a dark-skinned black woman," Lisa Ray said. "He's comfortable with the color of a Halle Berry. What's wrong with that?" Since her comments, she has continued to be slammed on social media by fans and commentators who felt her comments were insensitive and creating more space for colorism. A black woman coming into defending a colorist statement by a white broadcaster. First of all, Henchi, what were your thoughts when you saw that story?
Please let the madam speak. I'm not qualified.
One of the reasons why I wanted to go to you first, because I know BC would have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, 100%.
Because
let me set that up. Yeah.
Because let me go to BC. You have, you've done videos talking about dark skin, talking about blackness. Talking about confidence and being comfortable
in your own skin.
What were your thoughts when you saw this story first of all?
So the thing about Lady Lisa is that she just didn't read the room, right? Because even if people don't like to hear it, right? People are entitled to their preferences. We all have our preferences.
Yeah.
Right.
I know what I like, you know what you like,
Yeah.
you know what you like. The way in which he articulated his preferences was the problem. And if he's articulating it as a man of privilege on a platform like that to tear down your own people, as a black woman, regardless of your shade on the toaster, there's no reason why you should be on his side. Yes, people are entitled to their preference, but this is not the right time to tell preferences are okay. We know everyone knows that, but don't say it in that way. The fact that his job was taken, because what he said was stupid. It was ridiculous. How can you even compare skin to toast? How does that even make sense? It's like going back in the day and comparing skin to a brown paper bag. That's ridiculous. And for her to now say, "Oh yeah, preferences," she didn't read the room, so she should be getting all the slander.
But when you're talking about preferences, we spoke briefly about skin tone before you came in, because you said, all black skin tones, everybody's black.
Yeah.
You might be light skinned, dark skinned, everybody's black. However, it looks like nowadays fair-skinned women are getting kind of like a rough time.
They are getting it. And some people will be like, well, is there time to take the short end of the stick? I feel like it's a backwards mentality because you can't oppress people because you were oppressed to uplift yourself. Yeah, because you were oppressed doesn't mean now you should oppress other people, because that's not going to take you any further. And if you try to divide yourself any further, you're not propelling yourself, you're not moving forward, you're just feeding into the discrimination that already exists. So regardless of your shade, whether it be dark, light, medium, brown, whatever shade it is, if you're black, you're black, and you need to embody that, full stop. Like, don't try to divide it any further, because we're already divided, we already oppressed, we already have all of these things working against us. So if we now start working against ourselves, we are not moving any further. There's no liberation in you saying, I'm going to be pro-black, I'm going to be black, my melanin is popping, but then you're looking at a lighter skinned woman who maybe doesn't have as much melanin in you and be like, nah, she ain't good enough. She still has the melanin, she's still part of you. So Omo, relax.
What about the celebrities nowadays? Because obviously there's been a lot of criticism. If you follow platforms like Jedward and stuff, whenever a UK rapper or football player shows up, either with a mixed race woman or a white woman, the comments are crazy. Talk to me. Angie, you've got to say something, man.
Do you know what? My starting point is each individual has to be the change they want to see. You cannot tell me you're pro-black, but you want to attack a section of the black. That division, the in-house division, is killing us more than that
Outside division.
external party.
Facts.
So any little thing, even if we were fighting amongst ourselves, but as soon as someone from the outside comes, we all band up and we say,
Yep.
At
Facts.
least.
at least, in a household, in a real
there's
household,
gonna be a
people
little bit of
fight
tussle,
inside,
yeah.
okay.
If someone's
But
attacking
if
the
someone
house-
comes to attack the house, we're all together.
Yep.
Unfortunately, our community is still struggling with that. So I don't understand how people who claim and proclaim their support for the uplifting and the progression of black people, the community, having an issue with one section of that black community, because at this point in time, they were chosen. When it's your turn, that section now has a problem with you because you were chosen. Everyone now feels offended and aggrieved and is just waiting for the time to be able to point their finger at
Pounce
you.
on someone else.
How are we going to move forward?
Yeah.
As for Lisa and my man, I'm not even going to say his name. That's how bad it is.
Yeah.
I don't care what your preference is. This generation is a place where you have to speak correctly.
That's it. That's it.
You could have, it is not against the law to have thoughts of murder. What you cannot do is
act
go
on it.
and say,
Murder.
I want to murder
Or
or act
act.
like a murderer. I don't care if your preference is Halle Berry or not. I don't want to hear black women being compared to
down.
shades of
Toast.
That is not the right way to talk about different colors of different shades of black skin.
Yeah.
Just say that I personally prefer fairer skinned black women. No one, first of all, no one's trying to be your buddy anyway.
Yeah, nobody wants to know
Let's
what
start
your
from there.
opinion
Thank
is,
you.
to be
But
honest.
if that's your preference, keep it to yourself. Find the right way to talk about it before, and if you can't, then don't speak on it. Lisa, I also fell victim to the same thing he did. She thought, okay,
Yeah.
I have a logical point,
Yeah.
but I'm sorry, your
didn't read the room.
logical point came out at the wrong time
Yep.
In the
and
wrong
in the
space.
wrong way.
Yes, that makes sense.
Oh, he has a preference. Of course, he could say his preference. Okay, so if his preference was to insult you, how would you have felt about it? I feel like now what we have to consider is how does the other person
Feel about what we're about to say.
The issue of hurt now isn't about whether it affects me. It's about if it affects my sister or my brother. Because if you're affected, I'm affected. That's how that's me being the change I want to see. Because it's only a matter of time where I'm going to be affected. And you know what my sister and brother are going to remember? How was he when it was me?
Yeah. Facts, man.
Facts.
That's deep.
And you know, you raised the point about the celebrities that are dating the
Yeah.
lighter skinned women, right?
There's a big issue on that.
Yeah, like sometimes I feel like mine is an unpopular opinion. Like,
Okay,
we
let's
all,
hear
we
it.
all knew that. We saw when the uproar came when Dave was on the boat with the lighter skin, all
Yeah.
the Turkish ladies,
Yeah.
and everybody was just like, "Oh, but you're Dave. You wrote the movie. You wrote the song Black. This, and that, right?" And everyone was getting onto him because he was around lighter skinned women. I didn't see the problem in that. Like, why? Like, I get and I understand why women may feel a type of way because they always see the affluent men with the lighter skinned women and they don't really see that many dark skinned women at the side of the affluent men.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
But if you think about it on a logical space and just then taking a holiday picture on the yacht, that doesn't take away anything from what Dave has done.
But what about I had this question actually on the last episode of the podcast. Is it do as I say or do as I do?
So are you saying because he wrote the song Black, he can't be with any light-skinned women?
Listen, for me,
Hold on.
No, is that what people are saying?
I have an answer for that.
please,
Is that what you're saying?
No, I have
really
an
and
answer for
truly?
that.
Yeah.
My first answer is, correct me if I'm wrong, one of those girls was a light-skinned black girl, right?
I think
I think they were all mixed race or like
yeah.
Turkish or something.
Are we now just going to ignore that they're black? Do you see where I
That's a
started
problem.
from?
That's
Let's-
a really big problem.
We're talking about the
Once you
complexion.
got a drop of black,
we're
you're
talking
black.
about the complexion, not the issue for me is not your. Are you black?
Facts.
Cool, you're good.
You're good with me. Yeah. I think we should. That should
What
be
you?
the
I
starting
can't
point.
tell my man who to like. Do you know what else? And I'm not saying that this is what happened. Okay, in fact, let me turn it around. My personal experience. I used to do videos in the gym.
Yeah.
Really early on, maybe lifting women, you know, putting people. Before I ever had a non-black person in my video, I'd ask the black girls in the gym first.
But they don't want to.
I'm
They
not on
don't-
it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it. No, I
Yeah.
can't do that. What is?
Yeah.
Where you gonna put it on Instagram?
Yeah.
So
I
no
get
one
it.
can come and say to me, "You don't support black."
And
people."
nobody will know.
But no one will know.
Yeah, I
They'll
get that.
He's all got light skinned girls on his video.
Yeah,
he's
I
got
get
white girls. No.
See, but you're now going into a different way now because someone can listen to that and interpret that, and you saying that darker skinned girls are more difficult than
No,
lighter
it's
skinned.
not
But
difficult.
Okay, now,
No,
I love
but
that.
that's
No, do you know what you
someone
said? Do you know what you
outside
said
would
was?
hear that.
Do you know what you
I
said that
didn't
was?
think
Do
that.
you know what you
Yeah.
said
But
that was
someone could hear
amazing?
it.
Yeah.
And this is what's killing us as well. Do you know what you said that's
Perception.
amazing? What someone may hear
It's
differs
different.
to what I
Perception.
have said.
Yes.
Yeah, because someone
perception.
will hear that
And
be
they'll
like,
be like, what were you trying to say they're difficult? Actually, those particular girls, difficult's the wrong word.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
chose not to participate.
Yeah.
And that's their right. Guess what I'm not going to do?
Yeah.
Cancel my project because you're not interested.
And the situation is this, and I think a lot of people forget that, you know, coming from, you know, the black background, whether Caribbean or African, there's a lot more, you know, the parents, there are a lot expectations.
Yes.
So people have those you know, on their shoulders. If they go to the clubs, you pull out a camera, most of the people that are going to do this are usually black.
By default.
By default. Whereas when you're at a club in somewhere in West End and it's a bunch of white people and you pull out a camera, the girls are like, hey! You know, so it's a culture thing.
Like,
so because
don't
of
snap
that,
me.
exactly, don't man.
What you doing?
What's
What you
up
doing?
with
Where's that
you?
going? What are you doing? Facts, don't snap me.
So it's a culture thing, it's a background thing, and people have to understand the differences. And when it comes into preference, I've said this before, as a man, usually you think you've got a preference. But ultimately, most of the time, if you're a guy, listen, you go across it, you can go from left to right. But
where are we going?
let me tell you, I'll tell you something. A long time ago, I
right
felt like I had a preference. Like, oh, I like shorter women.
Okay.
The next thing I know, I end up in a relationship with someone almost as tall as me. All right, that's out the window.
Right.
Oh, I like a little bit of fair-skinned women. Right. The next thing I know, I was dating one of the most gorgeous dark-skinned women I ever seen. So you find out that, listen, those preferences, sometimes people have specifics, but at the end of the day, I still believe that personality supersedes that. And the more mature people become, the more open they get into,
You know what's even worse? This generation is so concerned with optics.
What people think.
All right,
it looks
all
like.
right, there were a couple of light-skinned girls on that yacht. For all we know, all the dark, let's just imagine, just for argument's sake, humor me. Let's say none of the dark-skinned girls wanted to be photographed. Let's just say. I'm not saying there were because I wasn't there. How should he feel? Like, what are you talking about? I'm actually here. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
and he was trying to say
do you
that
understand
too.
what
Why
I'm
does
saying?
it even concern you?
He had to say that
It's
too.
weird.
And here's the thing. Why are you now saying because to satisfy you?
You need to put a black girl in
It's
there.
mad.
In his, this isn't work, by the way. This isn't his message of life.
When I go on
It's
holiday,
not his
I need
video.
to have the diversity and inclusion. So I need a white
For
woman,
my
a
holiday.
light-skinned woman, an Asian woman. I need to have all of that.
But I'll be honest with you, even though it's as funny as that sounds, that's actually not a bad idea.
No, it's a bad idea.
Let me tell you why.
It's
Let
a
me
bad
explain
idea.
something to
Why
you.
should I have to do
Wait,
diversity and inclusion before I take
Let me tell you,
image?
I'll give you an example. You see in politics, especially in kind of like American politics where it's almost like entertainment anyway. Barack Obama, Joe Biden, they would not give a press conference if there are only 7 white people at the background. So they put, go and check their pictures. They put an Asian person there, a black person there. They put, so they make sure because it looks.
There is the massive difference, though.
I know.
Politically.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, politically, yes. But in your own private space, you could do whatever you want.
These guys are human.
I know, man. But it's
and now because we've enjoyed their music.
It's sensitive.
It's more
Do you know
than
what?
sensitive.
No, do you know what
It's
it is?
more than
Because
sensitive.
imagine this. So
House.
I'm saying this with inside perspective.
Yeah.
You enjoy this person's music. Now you are putting a responsibility on this person
To be a certain
for
way.
them to behave in a way that
appeases
you look up. Imagine, excuse me, you're not acting like this.
But
You want them to act like it
that.
so you can look up to them.
Yeah.
Will you get out?
Yeah.
Oh, there's the door. Open it
Immediately.
and get out.
Vamos.
Well, since we're talking about the UK, we ended with the UK Dave there. We're coming back to the UK where popular DJ and billionaire heiress DJ Cuppy revealed on social media that she was disappointed that the fashion brand Fendi hadn't reached out to her after her now popular social media posts, and I quote, offending with Fendi. End quote. Over the last few months, the popular entertainer has in the past shared pictures where she had stunned in Fendi outfits and bags with the captions offending with Fendi and hoped that will gain the attention of the brand, leading both to work together. However, she revealed despite the team reaching out to the brand to explore a partnership opportunity, Fendi has not responded to her partnership attempts, and the Fendi posts appear to have been put on pause for now. Well, fans have criticized the star on social media for her revelation, with some claiming she probably did not interest the brand due to her bad combinations. Offending with Fendi.
Sorry, 1 second. Does Cuppy watch this?
She's gonna watch it.
Okay, cool.
So
Over to you, BC.
So we have to be honest. First of all, I think there is nothing wrong in, after trying to promote a brand at that level, in reaching out to the brand and say, listen, man, I'm using my social media to promote your stuff. Would you like to partner with me? That's a good move.
Yeah,
Anybody would advise that. That's fantastic. However, I think her revealing that she tried to make contact with that brand, especially as she has been, sadly, the butt of many social media jokes in the last year. I think that put her again in a vulnerable position where these toxic social media responses were never going to be positive.
I feel like maybe, I think it's a touchy one because how do I even articulate this?
Yeah.
I feel like you said, it's a great business move to kind of, if you're doing offending Fendi and you wear Fendi and you support the brand and all those, to reach out to
And
them
she's
when
got
you
a
have
big
that
platform.
caliber, like you're a big person, like you're a Cuppy, like you're like an heiress to like bare money, like oh my gosh, you are a Cuppy. But you shouldn't be offended if they don't want to work
My
with
friend,
you.
don't be
Like you really shouldn't be offended by, because you may not fit their brand. And that's it. So I feel like her fans may have been like, why are you so entitled to feel like just because you're doing offending Fendi that they should work with you? Because if you look at the aesthetics of Fendi, you don't actually fit in.
Can we start from somewhere else?
Please do.
If Fendi did a tiny little bit of research, offending Fendi is not even your caption. It's Pastor Toby. Shall I continue or should I just shut up now?
Yeah, you can.
Because
Yeah.
Pastor Toby started offending with Fendi. You are continuing some. By the way, Cuppy, you're my guy.
But the fact that she's wearing the clothing.
You were furthering the idea, and that's cool. Pastor Tobes didn't do this. You've chosen to do it. Cool. You've also had good business smarts, and you've approached them.
Absolutely.
Cool. They've rejected. What the next one? Go and do balance with Balenciaga. Try that.
Move on. Rather than share that with the public.
Telling us now makes. I'll tell you what would happen if I was Fendi. Is she trying to
be entitled?
No. Is she trying to put pressure on us? If 2 million of her fans had been like, yeah, what Fendi? How dare you? What? Nah. Boycott Fendi, they'd have to listen. But what you've done is you are trying to force them to work with you. That's reverse pressure. So now, if I was Fendi, joking. I'd be like...
she was joking.
Yeah, she could be. However, the fact that she's always, unfortunately, like, your Cuppy is one of my favorite people, but I always feel like there are certain things that I personally would have advised her not to do, especially with social media. First of all, because Cuppy is a billionaire's daughter, there are some haters that will never change.
Your position already, you're a target, just by default.
And it's not like you asked to be born under a billionaire. Like, it's not.
Also, to Fendi, here's another thing, right? That Fendi is not like D-level luxury. They're at the top. You've bought a few of our items. You haven't caught Fendi's attention. You already had a platform. You haven't caught Fendi's attention. Catch Fendi's attention properly.
Let them be interested.
I'm not criticizing whatever you've done.
They just need to be interested. You need to do something to make them interested.
Imagine.
If they reached out instead.
If Cuppy hired out a Fendi store.
Which she can do.
She didn't buy anything. Just hired the store to have lunch with 5 of her friends.
And she brings the likes of Wizkid, Davido,
and then everybody gets a Fendi gift. You don't have to.
Big bosses.
You
the
don't
big
have to
bosses,
contact Fendi.
They all contact
The
you.
the journalists that say,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, nobody could get into this Fendi store because of."
Yeah.
Then Fendi look at it, oh my God, she's
That's
the.
bad.
Who is she?
Who is
How can
she?
she afford it? Oh,
Yeah.
she's a musician in her own right. She's this, she's that, and she's the daughter of a billionaire.
They'll pull her to
Why
the table.
aren't we in partnership with her, please? At the very least, they'll put you on their friends and family list. And now you've got friends forever. Start from there.
So it's like the approach. He's
Hey, marketing companies, hit me up.
That bitch was mad.
Hey, marketing companies, hit me up. I'm ready.
My brother's got that
I'm just
one.
saying a little something.
Listen, if that happens, they should cut you your shit.
Yeah, for real. I want to
cut you your
20%.
But that
if you
just
go with
shows, again, that shows where this world is going in the sense that social media influencing has become an official career.
It's the thing.
It's the biggest thing now.
100%. And there is a strategy to it. It's not just having an audience isn't enough. You might have 1 million people on your platform. Cool. What's your engagement? There's 2 parts to influencing now, creativity and audience. Audience isn't enough anymore. What have you done that's different? What have you done that hasn't been done before? Because actually, people will talk about that a lot longer than your 1 million people who were interested for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You're rich. You wearing luxury clothing didn't make anybody go, oh my God, because you're rich. We expect you to wear
You can
Fendi.
afford it.
Fendi's not going to look at it like you're doing anything out of the ordinary.
It's a lifestyle.
If I was wearing Fendi every day for a week, they'd be like, listen, I'll be at the front door. Guys, I'm in debt.
I need
Do
this
you understand
partnership.
what I'm saying?
Yo.
And it will make sense to them because then I might grow from 25,000 followers to 100,000 followers. That is worth their while way more. Do you understand? I've tripled my following because I wore their stuff. What did I do when I wore it? What was my caption? What made people want to... But if you can have 10 million people and they just like it, so what? If there's no actual change...
And a lot of people also need to understand that most of the followers that people get on social media are really people just trying to be in your business. They might not be following you for what you're doing. So your engagements are really what tells people what percentage of your followers really mess with what you do.
Do you know the stats? Should I give people the stats?
Please.
If you're trying to be an influencer, right?
Yes.
The minimum engagement you need is 5%. Do you know how crazy that is? That it's so low.
And that's hard to get.
It's what? It is hard.
Yeah.
If you have 5% engagement consistently, you are in influencer realm. If you get 10%, more often than not, people that you approach, as long as you're not shooting too far, they'll
listen.
work with you. 10% consistently, let's go. You're with us.
Like this people, it's tough.
It is very difficult. Apparently, according to some stats, you need to put a message 7 times in front of people.
Yeah, before they actually buy.
Take notice of it.
African people, 14 times.
Maybe even 24.
Yeah. Just multiply it by whatever number you
Even
want.
24.
That's the thing. It's tough. It's really, really tough.
Serious
Now,
stuff.
we're going over to Ghana, where a troubling trend seems to be rearing its ugly head with ritual killings on the rise in Africa after the sad story of a murdered 10-year-old at the hands of 2 teenagers who are alleged to have committed the crime for money ritual purposes. Now, since the news broke, people have slammed social media platforms and media outlets who take adverts from people claiming to help with money rituals, saying the broadcasting organization needs to stop such adverts from running. One person who isn't holding back punches is popular Ghanaian and social media comedian Waris, who slammed the head of National Media Commission, Mr. Kwesi Jan Apenteng, for disputing the fact that such adverts have played a role into influencing people to commit such atrocities. He said that the chairman's comments shows that most of the leaders do not know how to do their jobs. He further revealed that his family had suffered at the hands of such criminals after his own blood brother became a victim of money rituals after being murdered by people who aimed to do the same. This is not a Ghanaian problem.
Yeah,
It's in
that's the
Nigeria as
start. That
well.
is the start.
It's an
Heavy.
African thing.
It's an like
To be honest, it might not even just be down to
It's
Africa.
in the West.
It's in the world.
It's in the West. It's in a different way.
It's in a different
but
way,
it's in the
but
West.
it exists. It may not be the way that we see it and the way that
The
we know
black
it.
market where people they harvest organs
organs, yeah.
is pretty much the same thing.
Wow.
Those organs are going
It
for
exists.
lots of money.
It exists.
It's just in Africa there's a religious element to
Yeah.
it. But it's the same. You kill people so that you can
You
use their
use-
bodies to make money.
And how disappointing, especially I've seen this over the last 2 years, where social media platforms are promoting these so-called voodoo masters who would give people stuff for love to make sure your husband doesn't leave you
That's madness.
and stuff. I'm sure you've seen
I
that.
haven't
To
actually
make someone
seen
else's
it.
husband
It's
love you.
yeah, and they're
crazy.
advertising on
like we're in a Nollywood
popular
movie.
blogs. So what happens is when those popular blogs put up those posts, they disable the comments. But you can now follow whoever the woman or the man is and go and buy the love potion or whatever it is from them. And ultimately, it's now trickled down to where young people like teenagers have been influenced by, just the thought. Obviously, it's difficult in Africa. We know that, developing countries. And people are so desperate to touch money that is now sadly crossed the path where people are actively murdering people for these purposes.
I think the moral compass of those people that are running those social media blogs should be evaluated also because, like you said, people are eager to touch money. So if Babalo or witch doctor is paying you your fee to promote it,
post.
you just promote. That's what the social media blogs do.
They might
But
look
it's-
at it. This is just business.
Yeah,
My
but they
rates
don't know
are
what it's
this,
doing.
and if somebody that's against the witch doctor said, I will give you the same amount of money not to put him on, guess what?
Yo,
You
listen.
must probably vote.
And I'm not saying that's right for them, because
It's
actually
not.
there's also something
It's not.
called corporate governance, which is your responsibility to these people.
Yep.
So I'm not excusing those blogs at all. In fact, they should be held accountable for those things. You can't keep that money. If someone has died as a result, and obviously it's now very difficult to prove who's been influenced by what. However, a bigger underlying issue is, why are people so desperate?
The situation.
It's easy.
The
It's
situation.
really easy to fall. And please, God, for the family of everybody that suffered at this thing, help them and heal them.
Yeah, yeah.
But every day, more and more people are becoming desperate. And that we have to look at. Because none of these countries, by resources, are poor. In the same country where two teenagers will murder another child so that they can do a ritual to make a little bit of money, somebody can fly in on a private jet entertainment for the weekend. Do you see the contrast? So yes, we're dealing with something that's very terrible, but we're dealing with a bigger monster behind it, which is,
Poverty, angry.
why aren't these children in schools? Where are their parents? Are their
Their
parents
parents are
busy?
working.
Are their parents busy just breaking their
work.
back,
Yeah,
trying to
just to
feed
feed them.
them?
It's crazy. Like, the documentary that I was saying that
Yeah.
happened, right? I was watching it in Congo, like the guy that works in the mine to mine coltan that gives
Yeah,
us what we
what we use for the mobile
right?
phones.
He travels an hour and a half on a moped to make $6 a day.
Damn it.
He lives in a little shack. They hang up the shoes on the wall, and then the kid's bed is there, and then him and his wife's bedroom's in the kitchen.
And the coltan industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry per month. I'm not talking per year.
Yeah.
Per
Monthly.
month. Billion. Every single mobile phone that works around the world has an element of coltan in it.
Word.
And how
So
many of them are
Congo is basically supplying the
The world.
entire world whatever it needs for all of us to be on a mobile phone. And there are still people in poverty in Congo.
And this is what's crazy. You think uncool that went in mine for the whole day to get $6, you think whilst he's there, he's not just praying, God, just please keep my son safe. But if now that son comes home, lies, Daddy, I found money.
don't
Hey,
even ask.
they'll be like,
Nobody's
my
gonna
son,
ask.
you understand?
They
Like,
don't even ask questions.
Nobody
like
asks
because
questions.
they need it. And no one wants to have the conversation about how terrible our leaders are back home.
We need to have those.
No one wants to have the conversation about money that's missing in budgets. No one wants to have the conversations that after all these years of independence,
We're still reliant on.
we don't have free
Nothing.
education for children.
Facts.
I'm not talking about higher learning. Free education
Primary.
for children.
Bro, the Nigerian president was just in the UK for a medical checkup. He left his own country
Again.
That doesn't even
to
that,
come
that
to the
ideology is
UK
so
again
stupid.
for
Did you-
medical
did
checkup.
You
you
took
see-
private jet to
Yeah.
leave
Listen
your
to this.
country to come to another
Did you
country to get
see
medical.
the thing where someone was in surgery?
And they
Yeah,
were
I
tapping the
posted-
light.
I posted
You
that.
it. He was tapping the light. No, this person
That's-
was really lying
Yeah,
down.
no, they
on-
were
They were
even
mid-surgery.
mid-surgery. You could see them
They had
painting his chest.
started.
They're about to cut him open. He's
And
already
there's
been
no
sedated.
light.
They're tapping the
And they're
light.
tapping. Did you see how long it took? It was 5 minutes for the light in surgery to come on. And you know the most painful part of it? The person filming and everybody else burst into laughter when the lights came on. So it's a regular occurrence. That's the
That's
shocking
normal.
I
part.
felt sick.
Yeah, I was
No, because
like,
you know what could
Let
have
me
happened to
tell
the person. The person
let me
would
tell
die.
you
They'd be
something.
like,
Let me
died
tell you
in
something.
surgery.
My second child, my son, was an emergency cesarean,
mine too.
and my wife was losing blood. If that was her in the operating
God.
table, they're both dead
Facts.
'Cause without
Facts.
light, you can't
because
see.
of electricity in a hospital.
Facts. Facts.
Like even if you
You
want
think
to
I'm not punching up everybody?
Mm.
Yeah.
make light scarce, but
Like-
where you need it, please allow it to be.
Yeah. It's crazy.
You're telling me they cannot provide, even if they're being selective,
With where
hospitals, schools,
they should have
police
light.
stations.
I said today, I just believe that, it's taken a long time. Look at us here. Some of us born and raised in Nigeria and moved here decades ago. Even that, over the last 20 years, our mentalities have changed.
What?
And some of the heartlessness and the callousness and whatever we had back then, we don't have. I couldn't watch a dog in pain now. Whereas as a kid, I'd seen people being burnt alive, and I stood by them. There, as a kid, it was something that was happening. It was normal. They catch a thief, put a nail in his head, set him on fire, and everybody's singing and
Chanting, chanting.
As a kid, I'm there. But now I couldn't. If a dog, I'm watching. My daughter was watching YouTube, and this YouTuber had a puppy that was hurt, and every time they tried to touch it, I couldn't watch it. And that's just 20 years of almost
Hey, Shamsi, you're
unlearning.
soft. You're soft now.
And also, so I'm now saying, let's now look at the millions of people in Nigeria and across Africa that also need to go through a 20-year reorientation on learning. For them to be able to do that, you need to provide them a little level of comfort.
Do you know what it is?
If you don't
They are
provide that,
hardened.
they're hardened.
That's how they survive.
Think about what you
They
just
have
said.
to
It's
survive.
taken us 20
I'm
years
telling you.
to be where we
We
are
are now.
And these guys, in 20 years, if you ask them where you're going to be in 20 years, they cannot genuinely
They might
tell
say
you.
like them, might as well be dead.
So they are so hardened. None of them will believe that any change that is suggested will be true.
And can affect the common man. That's the problem.
I heard of a story of somebody that went back to his local town and he wanted to change the road. And in the pureness of his intentions,
God.
he wanted to use local people to do it because so that he can also
So
bring,
give back.
when the
The sabotaging will be terrible, bro.
it's like you were there when the materials arrive.
Oh my God.
The same people that built in the day were working in the day,
Go at night
were
and
coming
steal
at
it.
night and on doing what they did
Facts.
and stealing the
The
materials.
equipment. It's like
And I'm like,
they can't even see that the road is
This-
going to make their lives better. They just want to sell
you know
the
what's
stuff
crazy?
and get cash right
This
now.
road would if this road would have been
Access
done properly,
to
they would have
business.
had access to the next town,
Yeah.
which would have shortened their journey by something like an hour and a
Yeah,
half.
or two. It's
So a place you
terrible.
could go to once a
I'm
day, you can now
telling you.
go to 3 times a day.
But
They're so hard.
the work that needs to be done, it's just it's crazy.
It's really sad.
You know, since we're in Africa, let's go over to South Africa, where Miss South Africa Shudu Musida faced backlash from social media trolls for stating that she one day wanted to be president of her country. Shudu said on Twitter, and I quote, "I want to be president," end quote, and instantly was attacked by people who felt that she did not possess the qualities to run for president of South Africa and be a future leader of the country. Well, the international relations graduate got some support after some fans leapt to her defense, telling her to chase her dream and forget the naysayers. Shortly after her support grew online, hashtag Shudu for president started trending, and an online discussion started because of that, with fans talking about politics and enlightening each other about how to become a candidate for presidency as either a party member or an independent. Whether you're a Shudu for president fan or not, you have to agree that the conversation of public involvement in politics is great for South Africa and Africa as a whole. It brings us back to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We almost feel like there's a level, subconsciously, the fans believe that president, we can't be
we
president.
can't be.
Yeah.
It's some other people
Yeah.
at some level that
How
can
did
be.
they get there?
And just by her putting that statement out, it opened a can of worms where people showed their lack of education, their lack of information, and lack of belief that you can get to the top from where you are. How far are we from achieving those dreams? Man?
Do you know what's so crazy? My mind, I've seen so much now that my mind is so corrupted that I just thought it was a PR rollout.
really?
Oh my God.
Really?
Now I've said it.
You see,
think
his mind,
about it.
You see, his mind
Now-
is, this
How-
guy's messed
People
up.
do
Once
that.
once
People
you
do
once
that.
you've won Miss SA, what comes after?
Yeah.
Whatever
You do
you're
like a
contracted to do,
charity.
you do it, and you're forgotten about until you hand over the crown next year.
Yeah.
They never highlight what you've done in the past year. Hold on, wait. Management now says, how can we stay relevant?
No.
How can we extend
This guy-
your
He's
five?
a marketer.
How can we extend your
right.
5 minutes of fame into half an hour?
Into a career. Now,
Genuinely, now if you've said statistically she's had a lot more young people
Yep.
looking at politics,
Yep.
any smart party
Politician now will want to
would get
invite
her
her.
on side, and now she's in.
and of course, even when
guy's a
that's
marketing
crazy.
I'm just my mind was
your
like,
mind,
she's clever.
And the funny thing is, apart from the fact that she even made that statement to open the eyes and the ears and the minds of the young people to dream that big, when the political conversation also comes around and you want to talk about young people, what would TV stations, who would they bring in?
Who do they want?
in.
Because
They
guess
gonna
what?
bring
You've
her
got
in.
celebrity
Beautiful,
status.
yes.
You're attractive.
Yeah.
And people are already identified with you. She's an international relations student.
Yeah.
She has started the journey.
Absolutely.
And I'm sorry, but we're not from the era of, or she's definitely not, because she's a little bit younger than us.
Yeah.
She's from the era where she watched Donald Trump.
Become president.
Barack Obama.
No, Barack
I
is
know,
legendary
still-
because
they're
he's
still winning.
intelligent and he's a good.
Yeah,
but
but Trump
she
still-
watched Donald
A
Trump.
reality star,
Yeah.
Donald Trump.
Become
And
president.
so if
I think it's possible. She
even
can if she
better,
wants.
we're part of a generation that saw Arnold Schwarzenegger
Yeah, become
be
governor.
governor of.
Yeah.
Did you know you can't be governor of California? You're not supposed to be if you're not a
Yeah.
born American.
Yeah, because
But
of
he
him.
became it.
Yeah, but now because of him, he can't be president.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't born, but they allowed it
But
for
they-
governorship.
Yeah.
Do you know how insane that is? So what? Sorry, what's her name again?
Shudu Musida.
Shudu.
Yeah.
Baby girl, you got my vote.
But what about? I
Let's
wanted
do
to
it.
bring you in on this, BC. What about what that says also to young girls? Because in Africa,
It says
it's almost impossible to hear a young lady dream of becoming
And we're
the
telling
leader
girls you can
of
be
the
anything you want to
can
be.
be
But she
whatever
says,
it
I want to
is.
do this. No, you can't.
No, I feel like it's great that she said it. If that's her dream, then that's her dream. And the fact that people came against her just shows how small-minded they are, and it shows where they are in their walk of their self, their walk in their authenticity, their walk in whatever it is that they do. But for her to come out and say she wants to be whatever it is that she wants to be, she can go forth and do it, and that's really inspiring. So I feel like anybody that was against her, I'm gonna shine your eye well, because she didn't the game has changed. She didn't say I'm gonna be president tomorrow. Obviously that's not possible.
Yeah.
But she said that she has that dream.
Absolutely.
Anybody that's something in this life had a dream. It started with a dream, and if they're going after it, support them, push them, elevate them. So when they get there, the young girl before them can be there. She did it, so I can do it too. When they rise, we rise too.
You know what's insane? Imagine the youth of South Africa. Follow her.
God.
And you know
If
what it's like to be a young woman in
60%
Nigeria
of
and
the youth of South Africa say we're with you, she's won.
They take away the power from the
It's automatically she's the next president. If 60% of them come out and say, they would have, the ruling party would have to go into really dark tactics.
Yeah.
Should I even shock you further? The percentage in Africa, I believe, is 60% are 30 and under.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's automatically the next president.
In Africa.
And she's
So
a woman.
even across the continent, from
empowerment.
Nigeria to the larger percentage are the younger people. Unfortunately, the younger people are at the mercy of these old cronies that continue
Our way.
to
Our way. This is
Yeah.
how we've always done it. This
Yeah.
is how. No. There's a new way.
Bye.
Your ways. Your time's up. Your way hasn't worked all this time. We're still poor. We're still hurting. We're still killing ourselves to make money. Literally. No. And you know what I like even more? Where were all the guys? I like that a woman was brave. It's not just about her dreams. It's about what she's challenging.
Yes.
Has South Africa ever had a
there.
female
Fact.
leader?
Absolutely.
She's challenging what they know.
She's saying you need to think
This
about
is
it.
liberation. Women
She
that want to
was
be
like-
liberated, this
she
is
had
how
the
you liberate
balls
yourself.
to say, I want to be president. What?
Yeah, I'm like, go forward. Do it.
I should. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
As someone in South Africa that's got the money, even if it's a PR and finance her for 6 months.
Just to change things.
Let her go to some local villages,
Shake some
help her
tables.
build some wells,
Shake the table.
talk,
Shake it.
finance her to build some wells and get some schools built. In that
see how it-
that town will be the one that does the campaigning for her.
Well, since we're there talking about confidence, over to Nigeria, where a video also went viral of a woman named, I think, Ched Francis or DJ, Mrs. Osemije, who's now married, who called out for help on social media and the government to force the man she feels is the father of her baby daughter to take a DNA test and fulfill his duties as a father. The woman said she met a man who came from Amsterdam, told her he was married, but carried on a romantic relationship with him. Well, after she fell pregnant, the man returned to Europe and refused to either acknowledge her pregnancy of the 3-year-old daughter, who can also be seen in the video. The woman said her reasons for making a video is to take on the shame on behalf of her daughter, as she did not want her daughter to grow up not knowing her father. She said she was sorry for being involved with a married man, but she said her previous boyfriend was also married, but lied to her. So the fact this one confessed to being married, she felt the devil was better than the unknown angel. Her words, not mine. Well, as usual, the public has not responded to her positively, with most social media users slamming her for engaging in the relationship in the first place, and then deciding to take this to the public as well. It leaves me with the question, how does one get a man to take a DNA test if he has been unresponsive over the last few years? Is social media such a bad idea to take such a grievance?
I think there's so many levels to this.
I have so many questions.
Let's hear
I
it.
have
There's so
so-
many
Let's
levels,
hear
because
it.
obviously you're gonna get at the babe because she was involved with a married man, and he
my
told
head
her that he
hurts.
was married. So she's like, so you're already operating as plantain. You decided to go and get pregnant.
Who told you in that situation where you are coming in knowing you're the side chick, pregnancy was a good idea? Who told you that?
This guy.
Who told
this
you?
man himself.
And now, the man. It's a foregone conclusion. The man is wrong.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Yeah,
he has a child outside of marriage.
He's having relations
guilty.
outside of marriage.
But
for her,
in this occasion,
the focus is
I don't
on her.
want to say women. I'm not labeling women. Auntie has to take accountability.
Yes, of course.
You know what? Have you ever been in a situation where it's like, I messed up.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take this L.
Yeah, but
And
she
figure out-
She
but
said
she
she
said she messed up.
Why don't- No, you're
But
not.
she
I don't want
take
you
it-
to tell me.
That-
No,
Mess.
but
No,
so
no.
she's
Tell
tried-
yourself.
She's tried.
That's
No,
what I'm saying.
no,
So
no.
she said, okay, I messed up, but she's still saying,
What I'm
help
saying
me.
is, what I'm saying is, why are you telling us?
Because
Help you
she
do
feels
what?
like that's the
To get
only
this
way
man.
to
That's.
get
You
to
know,
the
she's
man.
currently married to
Someone else. Yeah, she is.
Are you rude?
I know.
But
Are you
but if you think
rude?
about it, she doesn't want her daughters to grow up without her father.
I know.
And
Bissy, are you rude?
No, but if you think about it, like let's try and understand it from her perspective. Her daughter is now 3 years old, right?
No, the daughter's older than 3 years.
No,
I saw
like
one,
between
I
3
saw
or
one
5.
big girl.
No, it's
I
like-
saw one
yeah,
big girl in
between
the
3 or
video.
5.
Her daughter is like 5 years
Yeah.
old, right?
Okay.
And she doesn't know who her dad is.
She doesn't know who her real dad is.
Her real
She
dad
has a
is.
stepdad
Yeah.
She does.
whose
have
house
stepdad.
you're living in
Okay, she
and
does.
eating his food.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
does.
And
have
your
that.
mummy's sleeping in his bed.
She does have
Daily.
that, but she still doesn't have a biological father. And
She has
maybe
him.
the
She just
woman-
doesn't know him.
Maybe the woman has tried to reach out to this
She has.
Amsterdam guy,
Okay.
and she knows the power of social media.
Yeah, exactly.
And she just got to a point where
Wait, sorry. She knows the
she-
power of social media.
Yes, because social
For
media can-
women who have gotten pregnant from married men.
No, but the power of social media in itself.
No, I'm asking.
In
Okay,
itself.
right.
So she could have just got to like the end of her wits and be like, maybe this is all I can do. I
Yeah.
can't take it to court. I can't find it. So if
Yeah.
I now disgrace him online, maybe
No.
Maybe
come
he'll
to
show
me.
up.
And I love that you went down that road. Listen to,
Maybe.
imagine this. If I disgrace him, maybe that will force him to come and help me.
Just show up and be a father.
When
to
has
her.
disgracing somebody ever encouraged them to do something
Something.
for you? The man that left when you said you were pregnant, you
God.
think
She's not winning this
international
case.
shame is going to bring him
She's
back?
not winning this case.
No, let's just look
not
at
winning this
common
case.
sense here.
And you know the painful part? Whenever she says his name, that his name is AKA of Amsterdam.
You know my
There's a
favorite.
nickname
You know
there.
my
I'm
favorite
like,
part
what she
is
say? Yeah.
Uncle lied to her. That's not his names. Uncle seen that video. Those aren't his names. Anyone that you're saying AKA means you're not sure.
That's true.
You're not gonna. If you're looking for me in real life, you're not gonna say Henshi.
Yeah.
You're gonna say Olu.
Yeah.
You're gonna say Olu. If I'm looking, he's a guy called Olu. He's this big. Here's his picture. Why didn't she show us his picture? Don't drag the poor little girl in the video. That are really annoying.
that
You
was
dragging
the
the.
video.
That is ridiculous.
That was the. That
Don't
was the
drag
one
her in the
that-
video.
Yeah, that's
Show
the
us
one.
my man's picture.
Yeah.
I'm calling non-governmental organizations.
Yeah.
You want charities. I'm sorry, let's just get the Red Cross to stop helping people who are fleeing their homes.
You're going in on this woman. You're going in on this woman.
And I'm not angry
No,
at
you're
her,
going in
I'm
on this
angry
woman.
at the message she's spreading out. Because if people think it's okay, when we have now...
Social media will become courtroom.
we are now accepting the fact that we want to trial people online. And even worse, she didn't try him. She wanted to disgrace. She wants us to apply pressure by making him seem like this no good, low down. Look, Uncle is a bad you. He was thinking with his penis. Cool. But he told you.
Yeah, but
and then
what-
you gave
okay,
2 seconds
bro.
to saying it was me. I
All
was
right,
bad.
all right. Let me tell you.
She's got no. She's living with her new husband. If
Yeah,
I was
I was pissed off with that.
I'm
as
throwing
well.
her out.
Saying that I'm Mrs.
You
something.
just throwing
something.
her
I'm throwing her out.
Bro, you can't be talking that.
You are
talk.
Mrs. XYZ,
she-
and you're saying
was
you've
she
gone
on
online.
permission
She
from
said,
her
"I want
partner?
to take the shame off." Permission? Which man? I don't think he knew. I think no.
Wait,
If you're the partner, are you giving her permission?
Wait.
Under what circumstance?
Let me also say this. It also seems like, because when I look at some of the conversations online and stuff, it also
upset.
looks like when
I'm
people,
upset.
when men say, "Oh, like, I told her I already had a wife." It's almost like they're saying that she knew what she was getting, like everything's okay.
No, it's
kind of thing.
unacceptable.
Exactly.
Regardless. Actually, guys, question.
Yes,
right?
please,
So,
fire.
Do you think?
She had a husband.
Yeah.
No. This
Yeah.
is,
I
this
can't
is
get
kind
over
of
that.
on the topic.
No, go on.
but
Yeah,
Go on.
carry on.
do you think monogamy
Oh,
is
no.
what
No, you didn't.
humans
I can't believe
are
you've gone
meant
down
to
this road.
operate by, or do you think is a social construct?
Okay. First of all, I will be honest with you. I haven't been born and raised in Africa around a lot of polygamy. Shout out to my dad.
Big man. Big up, unks.
Shout out to my dad. I'll give you a story, right? I didn't know that polygamy was not a common thing. I was in primary school. So I'm in primary school. They like, tell us about your dad, write that poem. So I just got up and read my poem in class and said, my father's married to 5 wives and I'm in a Catholic school.
Okay.
With a reverend sister in front of me and everybody, and it was just like crickets. And I noticed people looked at me funny. And that was the first time I knew that maybe this is not. So imagine if I hadn't gotten that reaction at that age. I would probably even grow older thinking, So a lot of people believe that have been raised in this thing, believe that is the normal way to
A lot
go.
of people that have been raised in the West think monogamy is it. A lot of people raised in Islamic countries or African countries or maybe even Asian countries, polygamy is normal.
Yeah, it's normal to them. However, I think there's a huge percentage of social construct in there because it is part of, we would say that what the foreign the colonizers brought over to Africa. It was
to stop you guys from reproducing.
Yeah. Yes.
Here's
And
another
because
thing.
you couldn't afford it as well.
Here's another thing. All behavior is learned.
It's learned behavior.
So monogamy or polygamy, it's learned. You grew up in an environment. That's what they do. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing. You're growing up. They prepare you to do the same thing.
Yeah.
They raise girls to want to be wives. To protect yourself. When they raise boys to be, you have to go get the girl.
Yeah.
You understand? You got to be the kid that. And in a polygamous
society,
it's they raise men to be ready to look after more than one woman.
Yeah.
They raise women to be sister wives. They raise them to support each other
Yeah.
because you're likely going to end up
in a situation where there's a younger wife coming through.
So the truth is, do I know the answer to your question? No.
And
I want to ask you guys first.
And another thing is, personally, I believe that, yes, there's a huge element of social construct there.
Yes.
However, I also believe that it's just common sense nowadays. Like, we can't, what those folks were getting away with back then with that many wives.
You'd be shocked.
Bro, I'll be telling you
That's
this.
that's why people cheat all the time, because they physically can't just be with one person.
This.
Yeah,
watch
that's
this.
I think that is the biggest question.
Here's the thing. This is what I'm going to say.
That's
This is
tough.
what I'm going to say.
That one.
This is what I'm going to
Cheating
say.
is like a parasite, like everybody.
Here's the thing though.
It's tough.
Here's the thing. What makes it really difficult is what can you handle? People aren't honest with themselves.
It's about communication. Be open.
Oh, but that's exactly brings me back to my topic, to my question. That being open, who does openness help?
Hold on.
Okay,
See,
you
guys are talking about women. You guys are talking about being open. I'm talking about being honest.
With your,
yeah, but honesty and openness.
Wait. Honesty is about self. In the context I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Openness is about the other person.
Yeah.
So if I'm honest with myself and I say,
first. I can't do it.
Olu, can you be happy with one woman for the next 60 years?
Yes.
And I ponder it and I'm like, oh boy.
He said, oh boy.
That's a long
If that's my answer,
yeah.
then stage 2 is openness. So when I meet a woman,
are you
like, yo, shawty.
Yeah.
Yo, shawty.
This is my thing is, I like you.
Yeah.
But next year I might like someone else. And it doesn't mean I like you
Don
any
Jazzy
less.
Don Jazzy was open.
It doesn't mean I like you any less.
Yeah.
I just like someone else. So can I not, are you the kind of girl that wants to be liked alongside. There are actually a lot of women now that are
okay with
open to the idea. My thing is this: have you tried wholeheartedly investing in one woman? Do you know how difficult that is? If you are the kind of man that can do that to more than one woman, I salute your thing. But you see me,
I can't do it.
It's long. Yeah.
I can't. First of all, man can't afford it. Let's start from there.
That's the first.
Let's start from there.
But a lot of people also say
And that's
that
the
you
only
don't know
monetary
a man
affordability.
until money don't rest for his pocket. When money is in his pocket, that's when you know the man you're dating or you're married to. Because once he can afford to do certain things,
Do you know what?
life is just about to get interesting.
You know what's interesting about all of this is the mind. People who are, let's take you and me for
Yeah.
instance. You grew up in a polygamous environment.
Yeah.
So it's until your ideas were challenged.
Yeah.
And now you're battling in your mind, oh my God, what is it? If that day had never happened, if everyone else in that room had been like you,
Well,
you'd
okay.
have never challenged
I would
that.
have never
And
thought it was
wherever
right.
you go, you'd be saying, you only
What's
have
wrong
one
with
wife.
you? Yeah.
Are you functioning?
Sorry for you. You
Are
don't know what you're missing out on.
Whereas
Keisha one
I've
day,
grown,
Becky on the other.
whereas I've grown up in a monogamous environment, and I would see you, I'd be like, huh?
Crazy.
Now, what both our wives would want is for us not to be friends.
Yeah.
Because my wife will be concerned
That this guy.
if this guy
And
gets.
apart from that, it even affected growing up, trying to date and stuff. And I'll go to girls' houses and maybe the mother will be like, oh, so who's your dad? And then you mention your father's name. Like, what?
Yeah.
Stand there. Now, this one's married more than one wife. Straight up, boom.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
It was hard.
However, you
They'll
go
say
into
point
a house where the dad
Point
has two
blank.
wives, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So
But what about on the women's side, a woman's perspective? Do you actually believe that a man can be loyal to you for?
I think that's a question of, like you said, being honest with yourself.
sorry, let me twist it a little bit. For women, can they
Honestly,
be with one man for
I
that
really
long?
and truly believe that if women weren't reared the way that they are reared, to be so, prim, proper, all of these things, because women are also sexual beings. It's not just men that enjoy sex. Like, it's together.
Yeah.
You do it together.
Yeah.
If they weren't so socially trained and reared to do it this way, they would be free too. To be honest, I honestly sometimes believe that women are more
worse.
sexual than men.
I agree
And
with
it's
that.
a thing that they are just so intelligent and so feline about it that you won't even realize.
Yeah,
They
I
know
agree.
how to package it well.
No, I agree,
But I
man.
really and truly believe if women were allowed and it was socially accepted for them to be with multiple partners, they would also have fun the way that men do.
Gangster.
If we go back to the time of like the Vikings and the barbarians, women were
Trying to
not.
be some Queen Sheba shit.
Yeah, no, women weren't owned. The only time you couldn't sleep with whichever woman you wanted was if she was under a certain age or if she had had a child for someone else.
Yeah.
That's the only time a woman becomes, unfortunately, in those times, the property
Yeah.
of
Of
that
somebody
man.
else.
And he may not even care that you sleep with her, just as long as you know that you can't have her. Those times, as warriors come back from war, but like, oh, how many people did you kill? Oh, okay, you choose first.
That's mad.
And I can have this one today. Not me, babes.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
I can. He could have. Yeah. 1 second. Let me just. Not me, babes. Because even after war, I'm coming home. But them man, and the women loved it. The women thrived.
I think again, it's one of the most sensitive topics
It's
in the
very
world.
sensitive.
I believe is one of those that also people have to be honest with themselves.
Yeah, facts.
And be very open as well.
And if
you know,
if it doesn't work for you, don't attack someone else.
Yeah.
Because even as we're discussing it right now, they
Yeah.
could be like, "Oh my gosh, this is blasphemous. This
Yeah,
is this.
I
This
know.
is this.
See,
This is that."
this is.
It's big people
If it's
talk.
not, it doesn't
Yeah,
float
yeah,
your
yeah.
boat,
This
then
is
it's
big
then it's
people.
your
We've
own.
never.
never. Do you know
people
what? We've
talk.
never been in an era where you can be as honest as this.
People are still so sensitive.
Honesty has never been.
I think one of the biggest problems is with the sensitivity. I always tell people that the first thing you have to do is hold your hands up.
Yep.
I am learning as I go.
Correct.
I am trying to become a better person.
I am human.
Yes.
In fact, all
I
this
make
sometimes the
mistakes.
sensitivity is fake.
So-
the people who are being sensitive are doing what they're opposing.
And because other people have also put like a certain image up, and this
facade.
person, a facade. So you see, they're like, oh, nah, man, everybody's just working. We're all
figuring
in
it
work in
out.
progress,
Yeah,
man.
always.
You know, it's
And
a
you know
difficult
what? You
one.
could try something and you could get it wrong. If you get it wrong, I hold my hand up. Can I repair this situation? Yeah. Cool, repair it, move on. Can I not repair it? All right, I've learned a lesson here. Now I'm going to try the other road that I didn't go down.
I even said, you know, to wrap up, I said, cheating is a crime committed to one person.
Yeah.
Not to everybody else.
Correct.
It's to the other person.
Correct.
And it is that person that has the right to decide
To cancel
whether
you
they-
on. Yes, correct. Oh, let me.
It's not for the world.
You know what's really crazy
know,
that I heard the other day? I know you. We'll move on in a second. You know what makes cheating horrible? No, let me rephrase that. You know what makes cheating more horrible? The amount of people that know.
Damn, the shame that comes
The
with
shame
it.
that comes.
That's
with
where
it.
I'm going. The shame. Because your
feel
shame
embarrassed.
is now, so your humiliation, my shame is now being broad. And that's why people, so when Auntie
people
came
really
on
have-
they had to
social
make a
media,
point, like, so I'm
you
gonna
are
leave.
trying to, I want to spread your shame
So you now
so
make
that
people
you think
react
I'm going.
based on that.
Imagine if the only person that knows that I cheated, or the only person that knows that A cheated or B cheated is the person they cheated with. So let's say someone who's cheated has now gone to confess or has been discovered, you know, the other
it's
person
just
went through
two
your
of
phone,
them.
and it's just both of you. That pain is in-house.
It's at home.
You just deal with it. If you can get through it, cool. If you can't, cool. You don't have to walk around wondering,
What does
who
everybody
Are they
knew?
laughing at me?
And because that's what hurts whoever the victim is.
So they knew
How
it
did
was
so and so know? You're out here embarrassing me.
Yeah, that's the pain. That's the
That's
cocoa of the
It's,
matter.
it's the
It might not even be
it's
the
the
ex- the act-
externals.
That now makes it
Derek
worse.
Jackson, that's what happened.
That's why everybody's all commenting, because now we can see, and people are starting to expect what his wife thinks.
And you
what
know,
da-
and
da-
what's
da-
all
da-
that
da-
for? Even the woman that did the expose intentionally tagging the wife, not him, tagging the wife.
We can talk about that for a long time, because you always wonder,
There's
why
so many
do
levels
women? Yeah, bro, please.
And let's all stop being hypocrites. Go
Let's
ahead.
leave that and come to the UK, where former X Factor contestants, the Jedward twins, went on a Twitter rant slamming the show and its organizers for what it is perceived to be puppeteering musicians. They slammed Simon Cowell in their tweets, calling him nothing but a facelift, and making a variety of allegations of control on artists and running artists' careers, including their personal lives, ignoring their mental health. The former X Factor duo also claimed contestants that made the show interesting make pennies, as the organizers make millions. With many people signing non-disclosure agreements, ensuring nobody can run to the media and share their individual experiences. The brothers, originally from Ireland, achieved a level of success after appearing on the show years ago with singles and tours to their names. They have also resurfaced in the last 12 months in LA, marching for the Black Lives Matter movements, as well as demanding marching for transgender rights. They also went further, making allegations that One Direction and Lil Minx are being ripped off, but say anything and they risk their futures in the music industry. Well, does this latest outburst confirm the music industry is still one of the most horrible and corrupt places for creatives? Or is this just another case of success gone south and artists finding who to blame for their own pitfalls? How seriously can we take the tweets from Jedward?
They're not lying. I'm just,
Straight,
they're not lying. Guys, I come from a legal background. A lot of people don't know this. Please read your contracts. But you know what happens? We are so desperate for instant success.
That we would
Microwave society.
we overlook
Thank you.
whatever
What?
Don't worry.
You will see
Yeah.
that you do not get nothing for a year. Or you get an advance of 130K. you didn't read further to find out that you get nothing for another 3 years if all the costs haven't been recouped. The first question should be,
much is the cost?
what are the costs? Then they tell you 1.6 mil.
And
You're 130K. And when I say you will get nothing else from them, you will get nothing else. So unless you've ended up getting, you also didn't read that, if your following grows, you can do brand deals, but they will get 30%,
360
45%.
deals, everything, yeah.
So, yes, sign. Haha. Don't come and cry.
On social media.
Or, if you should cry if you were exploited into signing the deal. Not if you signed the deal with your own sane mind, it's your business. If they exploit you, you chose that. Take your L. When your deal expires, now find a way to make the best of it. But if they tricked you into signing, we'll support you. But we are so... Look, Simon had one of the most amazing business ideas.
Yep.
A microwave stardom.
Music industry. Yeah.
You mean in 6 weeks or however many weeks,
12 weeks,
I can become a number one selling artist in this country? I'll take it.
And he did it in America as well.
And then it went worldwide. And listen, I'm saying he made millions. Did you know that even if you lose on the show and you're out, you're still contracted to him to do like 3 months worth of live shows?
Yeah, live shows. And they might still, if they like you, they can still be
Let
the
me
first.
tell you something. They get first refusal.
Yeah, first refusal.
I think even I saw somewhere where even like the top 5 were earning something like after all the breakdowns. So when you just figure out accountant costs, lawyer costs, this, that, the other, they're making something stupid like £86 a week. Or £86 a show. Do you know how crazy that is?
I think looking at it, like you said, is one of it. Also, just highlights
those aren't facts, by the way.
Exactly.
It's just
alleged.
Yeah.
So it basically just says, it's time for people to really, no matter how desperate you are for stardom and how much you really want that recording deal or become a superstar singer, try as much as possible to enlist someone that can professionally read your contract.
Correct.
And make sure that whatever it is you're signing, you personally agree to, and not 3-4 years down the line when you've had hit records and know people have made millions on your name, then you come out speaking and angry on Twitter. We get that a lot, especially in the Afrobeats industry.
People don't want to they don't want to face the consequences of their decisions.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So we need to make sure that that's one of the reasons I put that up was basically just so we talk about it and just make sure that, listen, people are going to be exploited. The entertainment industry is one of the most selfish and devious industries in the world. It's about exploitation. So make sure you protect yourself and you arm yourself with the right people to ensure you make the right decisions. Now, talking about the USA, I wanted to read a completely different story about how the legendary rapper DMX was on ICU and he wasn't brain responsive for a couple of weeks. But shortly before we came on to record this episode, all of that has been blown out of the water as it's been officially announced that DMX has sadly lost his life at the age of 50 due to a drug overdose.
Rest in peace.
Briefly, we've lost Whitney Houston, we've lost Michael Jackson, we've lost Prince. Now we've lost DMX, all to some form of drug overdose or drugs, whatever. This is one of the most terrible parts of the entertainment industry. What will be your message to up-and-coming artists or active musicians and entertainers within the culture, especially around the quietly spoken about drug abuse?
I feel like it's not even like so techy to say because you're not in their shoes and I don't know what they experience and I don't know the pressures that come with being an artist. I don't know the pressures that come with being an artist and being in the game and all of those things, right? But I honestly believe it's not worth it. Losing your life to a substance because you're stressed or whatever, it's just not worth it. So you really need to surround yourself with people that will edify you and that will hold you accountable, that will level you up or lift you up when you're feeling down. I know it's easier said than done, and I know that access, especially when you're around them, for substance is just there. They'll just be like, try it or just take this. It's not too bad. This isn't that. But if you know yourself, or even if you don't know yourself, and you know what these drugs can do and have done to people, it's not worth the risk.
Henchi?
Everything you said is right, Bissy. Everything you said is right, Shopsy. However, there's another element. The people exploiting the artists, the labels, the promotion companies, the concert guys, they need to also be more responsible.
Yes.
I've been on tour with artists and I can't begin to tell you what it's like entering a country in the morning and leaving that country at night and doing it, being in 6 countries in 7 days. You get to the hotel, you touch the pillow and that was my sleep.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I lay down. It was nice seeing you. Pack your bag. We have to get to the airport now. And so just looking at it from I can't speak for the artist, but looking at it from my perspective, my day starts before the artist is up.
Hours before.
And my day ends after.
Damn.
So I don't use drugs. I use my touring levels. So I had to stop drinking Red Bull at one point. And then, Shopsy will know, I use pre-workouts to stay awake.
Yeah.
I'm sure long term that's probably going to have a negative effect too. But when an artist told me one day, an artist who had stopped using, I'll say it, cocaine. The artist was using cocaine and had stopped, and I was like, why did you even touch it? He said, the first night after doing 6 nights in a row and having maybe 4 hours sleep over 6 days and nights, someone said, this will pick you up. Because he said, I could not physically go on stage. And someone said, do this. It will get you through.
Wow.
And he said that was that first hit was the most amazing show
And that's what
he's ever done.
Yeah.
And not only did he find the energy, not only did he have the high, he had the energy to do the show from having nothing. And he said that's how the journey began. And it just
into
said,
addiction.
and then one day a little sniff turns into, I need a longer line, and then it's like, now he can't wait. The first thing he sorts out before he gets to where he's going is someone gonna. But he said, I wouldn't have survived. So schedules, management and labels, their schedules has to have a rest day. Not at the end of 11 days of work. 3 days, cool, rest. I don't care. Yeah, let them. They're humans.
Yes.
The labels just see you're just an instrument. You're a workhorse. But these people are human. Yeah, they're getting paid. Yet no one can do that. Nobody can do that back to back. And imagine, I was wrecked after a 14-day tour. Do you know how long a world tour is? Imagine Michael Jackson. How many world tours did Michael Jackson do? A world tour is like 6 months of your life.
12 months.
And that's if you're rapid, yeah. If you're doing like his level, like the real world,
You're
not like a half world.
Yeah, you're doing 12 months. Australia, New Zealand, India,
like Southeast Asia, Africa, Europe, America alone.
Latin America.
Do you know how many days?
It's crazy.
Why is that America big so big?
America's so big, we never even look at South America. Do you know how huge that place is?
That's huge. From Brazil,
do you know how many dates you have to do?
Yeah.
Drake came in and did 7 nights at the O2.
Yeah.
Do we not have any other venues in this country?
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you can go to a place and it's night, and they expect you to show up at the same level every night.
We're constantly losing icons.
And I'm not excusing it, by the way.
How are we gonna Whitney Houston before her time,
and her daughter.
Her daughter before her time, and her stepson
Yes.
before his time, and then Bobby Brown's son just about 4 or 5 months ago. So we're seeing a consistent. So I just think, and I believe that in the Afrobeats industry, it's starting to become something that has become more prevalent than we've seen in in years.
And a bit more open with it as well.
Yeah, so.
Who's
How did they even get it?
No, let's not go down that road.
Why is the access so much to this?
Whose responsibility outside the artist? Who would you say? Whose responsibility is it to say, "Hey, manager"?
Yeah, I think that's the closest to the artist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Outside of the
Professionally,
artist.
yeah.
I think.
Okay.
So I think we really need to be, because when we're looking at, sadly before the DMX, before the news that he had passed away, his manager Steve Rifkin was on social media saying, please, he's still alive, And even though I know Steve Rifkin, a great guy, has been in the music business for years, has done incredibly well, signing all the legends and icons. Personally, as a DMX fan, I was looking at Steve like, but you must have seen him being stoned.
Yeah.
You must have seen him instead. But
How
again,
many times did you?
It's difficult. It's difficult. Yeah.
No. Here's the thing. I hear the "what can I do" argument.
You see it in these.
Let me tell you what the managers can do. Who's that guy there?
Yeah.
Who's the guy in the hoodie and the belly?
Yeah, that's always coming around.
Oh, he's the guy who goes, either security or venue. That guy's never allowed in again.
Yeah, but then what if the artist says, I'm not performing unless you do it for me?
No, then now we know you have an issue.
Yeah.
Now we know you have an addiction. I will do the show. We have to check you into rehab. This is what I'm saying about responsibility. Because guess what? The artist is my investment.
Yeah.
If you die, none of us make money. If you cave in, this is all over. So I need you to function as long as possible. You need you to function as long as possible. This instant gratification now is great, but in 2 years' time, you can't make any more money. Amy Winehouse.
Her dad.
We don't even want to. Yeah, even when you watch the documentary, I think it was Clive David's documentary on Netflix, there was a part where he said he made the decision that Whitney Houston had to go to rehab, and he invited her to home. So, and he sat in front of her, father to daughter, and say, I know you don't think you need help, but you have to go now. And I think those are the moments where we really need to get the right people around.
Did Will
the
Smith
artists.
not do that for someone one time? Who did Will Smith do that for one time? And he was like, I'll pay for it. And I respect the elders that see that, like, do you know what? That's the wrong road.
The wrong one, yeah.
Because if you won't listen to your manager, then maybe your manager has to try saying to the label, to the people that sign your checks, to be like, let him know or let her know, if this doesn't stop, or if you don't go into rehab, we're blocking you. We're shelving you. Whatever it is. Go and speak to someone that you know they respect. Who does that person listen to? All right, cool. Let me phone Shopsy. I know my man listens. Shopsy, I need your help.
Yeah, man.
And you, as a lover of music, you'd be like, is this what's going on? I've got you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, so.
Because the whole world is crying now. We've lost DMX, and this is
and it's
painful.
always around this 50, 49,
Yes,
50,
painful.
58.
They're young. Like, that's not.
This
That's
is
not
very,
old age.
very.
He had
Like,
so
so
much
young,
more
bro.
in him.
He just done the
4
verses.
years.
He's just recorded the album with Swiss Beats and everybody. We were looking forward to
We're
that.
waiting.
Now all of that's done. But anyway, RIP to DMX. And finally, we're at the final story now. In Nigeria, where a woman called Honorable Simi on Twitter went viral after tweeting this as follows. Tied rapper around the house yesterday, and now every corner them just they catch me. It is well. The woman apparently insinuating that her husband could not keep his hands off her due to her walking around the house in traditional African wrapper.
Facts.
Twitter users
Big up my man.
responded with a flurry of funny tweets, including some saying the wrapper is the sexiest outfit a wife can wear at home, going as far as saying it's even sexier than the bum shots, mini skirts, or sexy lingerie.
I'll just unwrap
So
you.
this begs the question, is African rapper underrated, or are foreign outfits like lingerie and mini skirts overrated?
I feel like rappers are easy access, just
No,
rap.
no, listen to me. Listen to me.
You like dancing.
Rappers are elite.
Oh, look at his face. He said elite.
Elite homeware. elite homeware. But because let me tell you something. Don't get. Let me look in at babes.
He said he wants you to wear a rapper.
Just tell me what pattern you want on that. When the Asians wear the sarongs, that's just their version of the rapper.
Yes.
No one on tight pum pum shorts or hitch up. No, just wear the ting.
Just the rapper.
Just wear the ting. Yeah, you know what's even funny is that Auntie finally got bare attention from Uncle, and it turned into this.
She went into social media. She was like,
Auntie finally got Uncle's attention.
It looks like
she didn't know. All this time she was wearing skin tight
Skirts
jeans and leggings, not knowing that she just had to wear.
Maybe she was wearing big T-shirts and stuff, and that wasn't working for the man.
And you know what's crazy about the rapper is, and I've got nothing against short skirts or the rest of it, whatever, but it's the idea that you mean underneath all of that, there's nothing else.
There.
Yeah. You know, just like a little. Where should I tie it to the side? What you mean if you're walking past me slowly, I could just
boy.
Say no more.
Anyway, we will be saying no more. That wraps it up this week on Audiomack Live, the official Afrobeats podcast with my guests, of course, Henchi and the wonderful BC Atkins. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Do you have anything that you'd like to, maybe something that you're doing that you'd like to promote? Henchi, you know?
Okay. Ladies first.
BC?
Make sure you're following me at Bis Atkins on Instagram. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've got like really cool content, really, really good interviews. You can catch me on Yanga TV as well, hosting some cool shows. And yeah, follow my youth initiative that is about empowering young women to be the best that they can be. And that's called Selfie London. So yeah, Bis Atkins, Selfie London, YouTube the thing, like my pictures, you know.
Come on.
Wow. I don't know how I'm going to follow that. I am Henchi_Hench on all socials. And on YouTube, it is Big on Security Podcast, where we are showing you how security is attached to every single aspect of our lives. And I have a couple of cool stories here and there. So check man out.
Check man out. Big shout out to the entire team, LM Media, Maurice, of course, Sheyi, AfriMediaShoobs.com, and Yanga TV. It's the same time, same place. Until next time, from us to you, it's peace. And we're out.
Peace out.